Again, most of you know David. Very kindly offered or dobbed in Babs to do a presentation for us. David will tell you all, go through the whole thing with you, but you had the tastings before. They've been all added up, and there'll be a big drum roll at the end, I think. But from my part, thank you very much to Babs for all the work they did in getting this done, and to Ross, who provided all of the ingredients and the space and the time down at Bacchus Brewing to get this all done. So it was a big day, I believe. I didn't get there, unfortunately, but a very good day, and I hope you enjoy the results of it.
Okay, so I'm basically got my Babs hat on now. So if you're not in a club, contact one in the area and get along, because absolutely fantastic. You can get all that knowledge and do things as a group that you can't do as an individual. So basically, we put forward this challenge, and what it was 4 different brewers using 4 different systems, asked to brew the same recipe and basically make the best beer, as judged by everyone sitting here. To use the brewery and the experience that you have, and only that, and the ingredients supplied, and to kind of use it as a bit of an educational process as well, and showcase. Oh, we're starting already. Showcase your system's attributes, advantages, and setup and use, and all that sort of thing. So we basically brewed a known recipe out of the Great British Brew Your Own Beer at Home, or something or other, by Wheeler. So basically pretty simple. I think we'll keep moving. The 3-vessel system, we had Brad Gray. Brad's not here today, is he? No. Michael Gardner did the brew in a bag. I'll get you to stand up after the video and you can take your applause then, eh? I brewed on the Braumeister. I don't have enough money to own one of those, so I had a couple of practice brews and used the lens system from Craft Brewer. And we had the boys from Ipswich doing the Ghetto thrown together system. So without further ado, we might just run the 15-minute video. Please, the people who took these videos are amateur. All the people in the videos are not models. We're not professional actors. So it's just hardcore brewing, okay? So just have a bit of a look at that.
All right, okay, what we've got here is the 3-vessel system setup.
This is Brad.
I'm Brad. I've got, here is the HLT. It's a 50 litre job. It's got a 2200 watt element in there. We then move on to the mash tun. I have a false bottom down the bottom there, and it runs off through the bottom. It's when I fill from the HLT, it will fill from the bottom as well, so that's underletting. When the mash is complete, I will generally turn the pump on and recirculate the work back through itself to get it nice and clear. Once that's done for about 5 to 10 minutes, I then transfer the hose into the kettle. This is a 100 litre kettle. I generally do larger batches, but it'll work fine today with the single batch. I have underneath a nice big Rambo burner that will bring it up to the boil nice and quick. And so that's pretty much the 3-vessel system.
And are you going to win today?
Oh yeah, of course.
Confidence, I love it. All right, take 2 on brewing a bag.
Yes. Now the full volume of water or liquor is put into the vessel, and then a purpose-built bag is put in, secured around the top. This bag is available from Craft Brewer. This is a nylon material. You can also use a polyester material called Swiss Royal. It's often used. General brewing processes like 3-vessel and Herms and so on remove the wort from the grain. With brewing a bag, you remove the grain from the wort, so you still end up with the wort. I'm now going to get the grain and dough in.
G'day, I'm Dave. Today we're doing the System Wars here at the Craft Brewer store for the Queensland Homebrewing Conference, and I'm going to be brewing on the Braumeister, so I've got in costume. Basically, it's an automated rim system, recirculating infusion mash system. So just come and have a look. Basically, it's just a big urn. So we've got an element around the outside. We've got temperature probe down the bottom there. We've also got an inlet and an outlet for the pump to pump the wort round. So we'll put the malt pipe in. After our water's heated up, we'll put our filters in, pour our grain into the centre of the malt pipe, making sure not to get any around the outside, mash in as normal. We'll put the filters on the top of the grain. We'll basically wind her all up and set her off. And that'll basically just hold the beer and take it through the temperature rests that we've set in the computer. Do a mash out if we wish, and it'll basically tell us when it's time to take the malt pipe out and do the sparging, and then it'll carry on to the boil. And from there it's just the same as any other brewing system, although it will tell us when the boil's finished and basically congratulate you for a good brew day.
Excellent. Okay, we got Liam.
Yep, Liam Ahern, Ghetto System Brewer. This is a bit of a run through the system. This is just a standard esky, which will be used for our mash tun. As you can see, I haven't even washed it out. It's still cockroach shit in there.
Delightful.
Yeah. So hot water for the mash will be heated up in this, which is at the moment our kettle element in a bucket. And so once the water's up to strike temperature, we'll chuck the hot water in there with the grain, mix it in, and it'll mash for the hour. At the end of that, this vessel here is our lauter tun, which is pretty much just another mayo bucket, holes drilled in the bottom, another bucket in the bottom, which will act as a false bottom, to then draw the wort into this vessel, which will then become our boiler. We'll then boil the wort, add our hop additions, and today we're just doing a no-chill. So after the wort's back down to fermentation temperature, we'll pitch our yeast and away we go. Simple as that.
Beautiful.
Just put the grain in, right?
All right, so we've got 3 vessel mash in over here. Looking good. Very sexy mash paddle, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me what to do.
8. Might just need to let it go off a bit for about 5 minutes. Just want to get it down a bit. So with brew in a bag, you need the initial water about 2 or 3 degrees only. Make it go in a bit faster. There we go.
To fill because I haven't focused on this week, to do single batches, to fill a cube about an hour.
And we're just about bang on 66, so that's great. That's really sweet. And now I'll just get some lagging. We now set the timer, 60 minutes, and walk away.
That's it, eh?
Yep, that's
All right, we're mashing in here for the Ghetto system. And it looks like they're using an old chair leg as a mash paddle.
Pop that in. Okay, this part's just the same as any other brewing system. We just mash in.
That's the sorriest looking mash paddle I've ever seen.
That's all we can afford.
That's right. Got no money left. If you had 3 hands, it might have been a better idea to sort of stir as you're pouring. But just make a little bit half myself for the first couple of minutes.
okay. Now, lid on the urn. A cheap sleeping bag, good option.
And it's purely for insulation, yeah?
Yes, this is
So what temp are you on now?
It's 66, and it's got 49 more minutes at 66.
So you don't even need to whip a thermometer out, it just tells you.
No, I just need to get a hammock. I'm done now until it's finished its 15-minute mash out.
I can't believe you don't have a schooner in your hand already.
Yeah, well, who's getting me one?
Into the mash, pretty much to bring the temperature up to mash out. So I just took a reading of the mash temperature, and it's 67 degrees still, so within the hour we haven't even lost a single degree. So it just shows the efficiency of ghetto.
You might lose a degree or a degree.
I love the chair leg mash paddle, that is so ghetto.
Brewmeister pours itself and it's on its way again.
Hey, Dari.
Sabotage!
Sabotage!
Wait, I'll give it a good stir in case it's stratified a bit.
Second sparge.
Is this the last?
Yep. Last one. I'll leave this. I'll just recirculate for a bit, leave it for a couple of minutes, and then recirc again, and then send it into the kettle. Then within a couple of minutes we'll be boiling.
Looking pretty good, Liam.
We're getting there.
Smells pretty good too, mate.
Nice dark brown colour.
Yep.
Alright, so now the element's under, we're going to turn her on.
So this is the bucket of death, is it?
That's the bucket of death, yeah.
Of course it's been wired up by a fully licensed electrical engineer, hasn't it?
Well,
I'll need somebody to give me a hand to lift the bag up. Plenty of takes here, I reckon. Get it right, guys. Put over there. Yeah, get that grain there happening.
What's going on over here, Pink Gloves?
We're about to get it out.
This
So-
I want to see.
Take out the malt pipe, that's what we're up to. So we've finished our mash out, and it's time to do a sparge and get this thing up to the boil.
Got it in yet?
How are we going? Alright, so it's sturdy enough. Start the boil. So I'm just going to ramp it up to boiling temperature straight away. By the time it gets it done, we would be out of the way with this malt pipe.
Bring
You right?
it up, gradually. See, normally I've got a sky hook, but in this case I'm going to drain it off on a rack. Get it mostly drained first. It's a bit more messy than normal. Normally I just lift it up. That's being heated now, so that saves a bit of time. Clean it up after you.
161, what do you want to be at? No, because you needed that, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I'm already done. What's that process called, Michael? It's called the briny cressinator.
Cressinator.
Now normally it's on a sky hook, I just walk away, because you haven't got a sky hook, I've got a bit more
So is this your first rinse?
Yes.
This is just your first running. Here you go, man.
Get that one on board, please.
No, I didn't get that.
There we go.
Yeah, you're just recirculating back into the mash.
Yeah.
So.
There we go, she's running well then.
Helps when you put the electricity in.
Yeah. I was wondering, it doesn't feel like it's working. I didn't think we were going to be filling it that full. That's scary.
So you're going to get boiled over for sure.
How good's that?
Really good. Yeah. So we got a lot of efficiency right at the start, and then
Showing a bit of action, a bit of volcanic.
There goes the first hop edition for the ghetto. Now that is a boil.
You're right, mate.
Something is in the system.
Here we go, all the systems are boiling now. I think, except for the brown mice, it's just about to get to the boil. What are we doing here, boys?
we're just getting the last of the hop break in the hop stock to get the liquid out.
Yep.
And then we're going to top it up with some ice water that I prepared earlier.
Yep. So, is this the bit where we make the garlic bread, or what happens now?
Yeah, this is a special lid. I wasn't happy with the one I had. I didn't like the aluminium lid. I wanted an alfoil one.
Brown dog, you should be taking notes.
What's he doing? Ghetto. I'll give you ghetto.
So, Brad, what's the story with the one-handed whirlpooling?
Well, you know, I like to go for a little while and then swap hands.
I thought I'd like to finish on that one. All right, thank you so much to the people who sent me pictures and videos from the day. Obviously you can see my video editing skills with free software available online wasn't too good. Been wrestling with that for a couple of days. Special thanks to Dan from Archive. He did most of the videoing and kept us all talking. We all think we sound terrible on the videos, but it was really good that he kept us on track. So thanks to that. And sorry to Ross for continually tripping out his electricity during the whole performance. Customers are standing there going, oh, power's out again. So I'm going to blame the ghetto for that. So, I'll just zoom through some of I made the guys fill out a survey before we did the brewing day, so that they sort of put forward their sort of views on on the systems, the advantages, disadvantages, how much it costs them, all that sort of thing, just to give people an idea of, if you wanted to look at that sort of system, what you're up for. So Brad, I'll just put a little bit at the front how long they've been brewing for and whatnot. So Brad's was the traditional 3-vessel, a nice big burner, and he didn't spend a whole heap of money, and he can change it as he sees fit. And the only thing he thought that was a problem with it was maybe the mash temp was a bit of an issue, so he's looking at Herms. 5 hours brew day was about his average. $600 it's cost him to set up. He does triple batches. I just asked everybody to put forward some general brewing tips if they felt like it, or how they save time, and wang and crush the grain the day before, and fill and the HLT with water, and preheat seemed to come up on almost every survey. What rules do you have for brewing? Don't have a beer before the first hop addition, so Brad's fresh wort hopping now on every beer, so he puts the hops in the kettle before he even fills it. And he can break the first rule whenever he feels like it. Fair enough. So there's just some pictures. I think with the videos probably took care of most of it, but I'll just zip through those. He's not laying an egg there. That's Brad sort of expelling the air out of the cube that was left in there. So Michael's here. Do you want to stand up, Michael? Thanks, mate. So I'll get you to ask the questions to all these guys when we get to the end. Simplicity, compactness, easy to do in a single vessel, and with big batches, a few efficiency issues and a bit more trouble in the kettle, but both issues can be worked around. Basically you need an urn and a bag and all the other bits and pieces. 4 to 5 hours was the answer I got from Michael, and depending on what he's doing with his water. And about $400, that's including all the side things, but I guess a urn and a bag's probably under $300. Batches up to 25, and the tricks, set timers and stick to them. Yeah, and just with the element, just keeping it away from the grain was a good one there, putting in little racks, scone rack or whatever. Don't get drunk or fall asleep. What's wrong with that? Just a few more highlights. Got him to clean up a bit, made a bit of a mess. Hey, mate. Tony Brown and Liam Mahern, stand up, boys. These two guys are the current and previous state champions, okay? So they might be brewing ghetto, but they know what they're doing. So I've got Tony to answer this questionnaire, so I'm not sure what Liam would have said. But mash tun, plastic buckets, drilled holes. It's as simple as you can get and still be brewing. But that element worked pretty well, didn't it? And electricity might be a disadvantage. I'm not sure if I'd want one of them. 4 hours, under 4 hours, those guys knocked out the beer. And I'll just show you the actual times in a minute, but with the water heat up and clean up, still under 4 hours. $0, and 17 litres was about the limit of the actual wort, but you could always high gravity brew and sort of top up. Cleaning as you go, and don't have too many while you're brewing because you might forget things. That's some of the system. Okay, so I've been all graining for 4 years, and I have a 3-vessel system at home, the traditional one. I've brewed pots on the stove, brew in a bag, 2 vessels, 3 vessels, whatever. So I thought I'd like to put my hand up to brew on this. We actually wanted Florian to brew on this one because he's got one, and I think he came runner-up in state championships. So we'll get Florian to answer the questions at the end. If anyone's got any really specific Brewmeister questions, well, I'll try. Very compact, commercially available, single vessel, plugs into the 20-litre one plugs into the standard power outlet in your home. Yeah, it's basically brewing porn if you've got the dough. It controls everything, the boil, the temperature rests, it's recirculating the work continuously, one vessel to clean, and if you want to do multi-step mashes, you can do that and go and watch the football or something. Disadvantages, the initial outlay is substantial and seen as a pretty big drawback for most people. I brewed outside with it the first time and struggled with the element, but you can get a couple of optional extras that'll help with that, but I'll otherwise brew inside, I reckon. Trouble with the Braumeister, if you crack too fine, you actually have lots of problems and spurt wort everywhere because it kind of blocks up and the pump struggles. It took about 5 hours, but the very, very first day when I had all the problems, it took me 8 hours. And I reckon if you did multi-step mashes, it would probably be a 6 or 7 hour brew day. So it is not quicker. $2.5 for the 20 litre. I think it's $3.5 for the 50 litre. That's about the going rate at the moment. You can get insert a 20 litre malt pipe for the 50 litre system if you want to do half-size batches. All the same tricks. I like to look into the beers before I brew them and sort of get an idea of what the beer style's about and what I want to achieve out of it. And I don't normally drink while I'm brewing, but if I do night brews or do something crazy, I've got to have something to keep me going. Just at the bottom there, I've got the 3 different stages. Just when you've mashed in, it's quite cloudy, and then it sort of starts to clear up, and then when it's crystal clear by the time it's finished. There's me brewing on the top left there. While these blokes are going pots and pans and pots and pans, I'm having a sleep out the back. It's all right. No worries. There's just all that I just showed you in one slide, so I think we probably need to get me off the stage now. So all the same things just in one screen. So I went back 2 days after the brew day and pitched the yeast in all 4 of them, and then went back after the conditioning phases and cold conditioning, filtered the beers and basically kegged them and carbonated them and whatnot. So what was the results? So just got here the volumes, the original gravities, the mash efficiencies. It actually turns out they're all very close. Bribey didn't quite boil down far enough, I don't think, but when you include the 3 litres that he had left over, his efficiency was around 73 as well. So the systems were all 75, 73, 78, 76. That's your total system efficiency. The mash efficiency jumped around a little bit depending on what people did with if they had any trub left over. The Ghetto boys strained out their trub completely, so they got all their wort sort of thing, whereas there was losses in other systems. All the beers were around 5.2, except the brew in a bag. It started off at 10.42, so with the 78% attenuation, apparent attenuation, it got down to a little bit lower, but still only 4%. So they're the times. So we used the strike water from the big brewery that was at Bacchus. So there was no prep time, we just mashed in straight away. So from mash in to when they were cubed, there was 3 hours for the 3 vessel, under 4 hours for brew in a bag. Braumeister was a touch under 4, and the Ghetto did it in under 3. That's pretty fast brew day. And their cleanup was less than 5 minutes, a few plastic buckets and a bit of a hose, that was it. So just include the time it takes to clean up and heat your water, add on to that. And I had to put the Braumeister back on the shelf, so I had to polish it up a bit longer. Okay, so I didn't have time to put the answers on what beer was what, so I've got it in my pocket. So I can tell you what the beers were. Number 1 was the 3 vessel, the traditional 3 vessel. Number 2 was the Braumeister. Number 3 was the Ghetto. And number 4 was the brew in a bag. So we had 23 votes for 3 vessel. We had 34 votes for the Braumeister. We had 25 votes for the Ghetto. And we had 37 votes for brew in a bag. So there was a clear, two systems were clearly like 10 votes each ahead, like 34 to 37. Similar result down in Melbourne when this was run. There were 2 beers that were quite similar in voting and similar in taste, and they sort of, you know, statistically, if we did the same thing again, it'd go down the other way or whatever. So, but definitely pipped us by 3 votes, Bribey, so we'll hand over the trophy to Brew in a Bag for the first one, eh? And that's it.